One of the joys of living in a rural area is the trust factor. I stopped at a roadside corn place and it's all on the honor system. And I'm going to take about half a dozen. So we're going to take 1, 2, we're going to take 6 ears of corn, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that in the lockbox. And we're going to take 3, or we're going to take 6. Oh, that looks like a nice one. These all look really nice. That looks nice. That looks nice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some of these are really big. Okay, so there we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 corn on the cobs. We got some cheap dinner for the next couple nights. Welcome to Minnesota. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday morning. I made it up to the land last night and I'm just getting going this morning. I have to pick up the skid steer from town at 1 o'clock today, and that's when the real work is going to begin. So what I have going here today is I am going to be leveling out this area here. This is where the shed shack is going to go. And then when I'm done with that, I am going to level out my work area over here. And this not only is going to be a workspace, but I'm also going to build an outdoor kitchen slash barbecue in this area. So I'm going to have to cut down a few more trees, which I hate to do, but I think it's just going to be necessary. Then I'm going to level this out and I'm going to get rid of all of these stumps that you see. But one thing I decided to do is I am going to take down one more of these popple trees. This one really serves no purpose, and once the shack is in place here, I think having that last tree gone and the stumps will open it up quite a bit. I'll be happy to get this junk out of here. Once I get this leveled out, this will probably become the parking spot, and the bonfire area will be over there by the woodshed, and so I can move all of the wood and kindling box over to that side. So that's what's on tap for today. I did just a little bit more work on the woodshed, and I noticed something that I am not very happy with, but I think I can easily remedy it, so I'm not too concerned. Last time I was up, I put these roof boards on, and when I put them on, I put them as tight as I could get them together without any spaces. And as you can see by the big gaps and the sunlight coming through, they have shrunk quite a bit, so they were not completely dry when I put them on there. Although I'm disappointed in that, I am not too concerned about it because my plan for the shack is to have metal roofing on it, and I think I will just order enough extra metal roof to cover up the roof of the woodshed, which I think will make it last much longer anyway and is probably just a good idea. So instead of unnailing all of these boards and squishing them together, I think I'm just going to leave them for right now, knowing that eventually it will be covered properly and it won't be an issue anyway. So the other thing I did today, I decided to close off this side of the woodshed. As you can see in the other areas, I left ventilation gaps so that the wood can dry. But I kind of decided that I'm going to use this half of the woodshed for good wood and maybe a snowblower and a lawnmower that I'd leave up here. But I kind of wanted to keep them out of the elements a little bit more. So I did go ahead and close up the gaps. One thing I am thinking about doing is taking a big heavy canvas tarp and just putting either some spikes or something in, and I will close up the woodshed in the winter just to keep some of that blowing snow out of there and give it a little bit more protection from the elements. And then when I show up, I can just take it off of the, take the grommet off of the nail and slide it over and have easy access to anything I need. So that is the plan for the day. So let's cut that tree down. Didn't really help much, did it? Ah! Well, I'm not too worried about this one. We'll go with plan B. I think we should be able to get a strap and pull this one. It's just hung up a little bit right there. I think it shouldn't be too bad to get off. Well, that is not where I wanted it to fall. Hopefully I didn't have anything over here that got wrecked. Nope, everything was moved far enough away. Just goes to show you, you think something's gonna be easy, so you don't put as much thought into it, and in the long run, it ends up to be more difficult. Here, because it was a small diameter tree. I didn't pay that much attention to what was around it, and I was not very, I could have made my cut much differently in order to drop it straight and clean. So let's get this sawed up, and then we're going to clean up and maybe head to town a little bit once this is all pulled off the road. Well, that was an ordeal, getting the skid steer from the rental place. That one pretty smooth, but getting it into the driveway off of the highway, that was another story. Yikes. Thought I was gonna get creamed out there on the highway. Well, let's get started. Well, there's a reason that excavators get paid decent money, because it's a lot of work and it takes some skill. So the bad news is the Bobcat wasn't strong enough to get out the big stumps, and I'm afraid all I did was make more of a mess than I would have had if I would have just left it the way it was. As you can see, it is fairly flat now. I have to take a hand rake and try to get it smoother. One thing I found is I just wasn't able to get it smooth with the Bobcat. As you can see, there's a big stump here. I tried digging that thing out for quite a while, and all I did was make a big hole. Tried just a little bit with some of these ones, and boy, they wouldn't even budge. So the idea now is to dig around them, chainsaw them off, rent the stump grinder, hopefully tomorrow, and get these out of here. But tonight I'm going to spend probably the rest of the evening with my rake just trying to level this, and then trying to organize some of this wood that I have here. The problem is I'd get it somewhat level, and then I would turn around and this is what would happen. Or I would push a log and I would just tear it up. So I don't know really if I did any good at all. Although with this part here, once I hand rake it out, I think it will be okay. Part of the issue here was when you would walk it, you would almost roll your ankle because it was so uneven. Somehow I have to, and I should have done it with the Bobcat, and I probably still can tomorrow if I have any motivation, but I'm out of Bobcat motivation right now. I need to get those popples up on stumps so that they're off the ground. Those are logs that I plan to make into slabs, and I don't want them on the ground to rot. Never ending. But the good news is I actually was able to back I just did it now, but I just backed the trailer up all the way back to the campsite here. So the idea, at least I can work here, and I didn't want to sleep way up by the road, and at least now I can have a bonfire tonight and cook some dinner with the grill and feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be. Better get raking. It's getting late already. It's starting to get dark. I don't even know what I'm going to have for supper. I do have the grill going. I cheated and I put some charcoal fluid on the fire this time. Unfortunately, the corn on the cob I haven't soaked yet, so that is not ready to go, but maybe for lunch tomorrow. Got a little bratwurst going, some sauerkraut, some fresh bakery buns. Fire gone.
Ray Rollins, Tim Gray, Betty Gray, Roland Major, Dean Moriarty, Carlo Marx, Ed Dunkel, Roy Johnson, Tommy Snark, nobody. I wandered around Curtis Street and Larimer Street. Worked a while in the wholesale fruit market where I almost got hired.
Listening to a little Jack Kerouac on the road on audible.com.
At one point, the Japanese kids and I had to move a whole boxcar 100 feet down the rail by hand with a jack gadget that made it move a quarter.